If you go up on the second floor of the palace, this is the view you will see. Specific, absolutely site-specific landscapes. There is a town called Anjar in Kutch. I don't know whether you are aware of that. Quite an important Anjar. So there are four countries showing Anjar approach from the west, from the east, from the north, from the south. So they are very curious and are now in the habit of, I wouldn't say habit of, but now used to the idea that everything must be based on observation. Right? And this, I'll show you a few paintings. After some time, it seems, they got tired of doing that also. क्या है, सामने दिख रहा है? I mean, we are able to see this, so what is the point? Then they started playing with these landscapes and created their own version of very interesting poetic variations on observed things and so on. In a certain sense, getting back to the Indian metrics, so to speak, of imposing imagination upon observation. And some very, very interesting things resulted from that. A unique small group of pictures, not too small, several hundreds, right? We see that. And nothing quite like this in the whole of Indian painting exists. I was fortunate. I chanced my arm. At this time, I sent a second article to Stella Kramish to publish in the Art of Azazia. And I'm painting in Kutch, some surprises and some conservation, or something like that. So this is how it. And finally, I brought out a little book, which didn't sell well. It was trashed by Oxford University Press, right? So this is the story of painting in Kutch. I had a small camera at that particular time, whatever I could do. And 3 years later, I had a slightly better camera, but no digital images I was able to take. So you find very dinky sort of visuals that I should see. Some of them are decent. And I started tracking down who bought what painting and so on. So I wrote to them. I got some decent reproductions, some digitized and some not so digitized and so on. So, laptop. But this is not from Kutch. I think I might have mentioned this. Many friends of mine tell me that I have a gift for irrelevance, right? So, and I approach things, sideways, something like that or so. But I want to continue with something I showed you the last time. A drawing of a young woman with her hands, differently disposed, because the artist is thinking. And I just want to take you through this large drawing, which is from Ashwa Shastra. It's not a great drawing, but it has some very interesting features in it. How does the artist think? How does he change? How does he transform? What is going at the back of his mind when he's working his ideas out, turning inwards? This is obviously horses were important in early India. And horses not only as common rights, but horses which you took into battle, right? So horses had to be very carefully screened. We have a large number of paintings, Mughal, Pahadi, Rajasthani, where a new horse has been brought in front of a ruler, and there's a man with a large screen standing behind that, and the ruler is looking like that, noting down the points of a horse, right? There are books from manuscripts showing diseases of horses. How do you treat them? And signs by which you recognize, will this horse will be long living or something? Will he run as fast as he does now, 5 years from now, things like this? If he has this particular thing on his ear, indicates this disease. So it's a very elaborate kind of pseudo-scientific or scientific system that we have. Now here, the artist is first showing the horse in this direction, then you produce a version of the horse in the opposite direction. His legs are all jumbled up and so on. But the text is in perfect grammatical substance. So it's taken from a well-known text, right? Ashwashastra. Now, again and again, you will see that it says there, for instance, if on the Brahmari, if on the ear, this kind of the hair is turns clockwise or anti-clockwise, it indicates this in a horse. If you turn this is the back of the same drawing. It's a large drawing, which I happen to see in Bombay. That this doesn't look like a very efficiently organized horse. I mean, turned up body. But the texts are extremely specific and very, very interesting for the There you can see it started off on the other side, upside down. The head of the horse is painted here, drawn here, like that. This is where the mekhala is, this is where it's a shubha. This kind of a horse is auspicious, will serve you well. So these signs appear in the body of the horse and so on and so forth. If you get these sort of bunches of hair at the end of the ears and so on, this indicates this particular quality or lack of quality with the horse as such. It's a scientific study here. But it tells me that the artist is constantly thinking what to do. How do I organize? Bhuvam cha brahmara. Bhuvam means on the brow. Brahmar means a kind of a circular patch of hair on the brow or something like this. Ashu. And if the tears start falling from this corner of the eye, then this indicates this habit on the horse or something else. Or this ailment the horse bears. Right? But this is not what you are here for. We're looking at Kutch. This is the very first painting I saw. The first year that I was there. Not an efficiently organized kind, but 4 major rulers of Kutch. Rao Shri Desaldi towards the top right. Rao Shri Lakshpatji, that is his successor. And then Rao Shri Gorji, which is not reasonably easy to read Devanagari, and Rao Shri Raitharji. 4 rulers under whom Kutch painting flourished. Desaldi, the gentleman at the extreme right, top right, was a very highly respected ruler of Kutch. Founded institutions, did welfare work, was remembered with great fondness even today. This is how Desaldi was painted. This is the first lot of pictures that I saw. Clearly, influence of Rajasthan in the background, clearly signs of royalty or superiority, sitting like this with a flower in the hand and so on, you kind of royal stance. Halo behind the head or nimbus behind the head. But quite beautifully painted. I mean, if you look at it's a stylized thing. It is not a sharply observed portrait, but that he has grey hair, that he has a large eye, that he had a reasonably sharp nose and so on and so forth. And this is Lakshpatji. This man, Lakshpatji, and Ram Singh, the sailor that I talked about, they worked, shall we say, like Balwant Singh and Naim Singh together, right? They were obviously thinking of doing things, expanding the horizon of other artists and so on and so forth by this. Lakshpatji is a very, very important figure, a very royal kind of an image that you have. Again, stance which is stuck like this, and in his hand, like his father, he holds a flower. We have portraits of Shah Jahan holding a jewel in his hand. We have portraits of, or supposedly portraits of Noor Jahan holding a flower at her head. So they all mean something or the other. This is Lakshpatji. This is done without any awareness of European work. These are the kinds of paintings which must have been done in Kutch before the internet renaissance. In Kutch, there are a large number of people of African origin, blacks, who came in as slaves from East Africa, Habshis as they were, right? Abyssinians, basically Abyssinians. And we see them again and again in these paintings. This man who's holding the hookah from which the ruler is smoking. Well, it's a very stylized picture. Royal stance, hookah, with the stem of the hookah in hair, like that, so on. And doing nothing in particular, just standing there, striking a kind of a regal pose. Lakhpat ji on elephant back in a position. Now you could mistake this for a Rajasthani paint, right? Not mistake it, but it will remind you of a Rajasthani paint. Mewar bones. But there are all these people, I'm sure you will notice, among the soldiers who are in front and here the back and so on, so on, they're Abyssinians, right? Black skin in front, little design and so on. But it is a grand procession, without any question. The elephant is superb, but in this Kutchi painting of this particular period, there is a tendency on the part of the painters to bring in all kinds of birds who hover around or fly about. And if that peacock had just flown a little lower, he would probably have taken the turban off, the Marana or Sakela that is. But they swished past. There's a kind of a poetic element in that, but one starts recognizing the Kutchi style of wearing a turban, the Kutchi karar, which is a very particular type of mara, which many of the people carry, and so on and so forth. Okay, same detail of the same painting. You will see the butterfly, for instance, the extreme right brought of the size of the face of the ruler, right? So this was very common in Kutchi painting in that particular. But there is an air of grandeur about it, without any question. Lakhpat ji holding idhar pa. The Biradari, that is the brotherhood of Kutch, is called Bhayat, Phayat. So everyone is a bhai like that also. So there's not great difference of rank between these people. So there are these people who sit facing him, standing behind him. Those who sit facing him are obviously the more important ones. But one figure I like you to notice here is this. I'll show you a detail of him a little later. If you notice, the clouds in the sky are very much like paintings from Jodhpur and so on, because those painters had this convention or whatever. So they obviously was coming and going between Kutch and Rajasthan, and some influences, etc. there. Lower the light of it so the paintings shows to slightly better advantage. Is that better? Yes. Lakhpat ji meeting with the ruler of Jodhpur. In fact, not Jodhpur but Nagaur, Ajit se. It's very interesting. At the right, where the ruler of Jodhpur is seated under that canopy towards the right, are all people who have come with him from Jodhpur. They're wearing the Jodhpur turbans, tall turbans with a boss at the top and so on, so far. And they're all, it's a